Title: Into the Fold. Director: Brannon. Braga. Writers: created by Seth MacFarlane, written by Brannon. Braga, Andre Berman. Starring Seth MacFarlane, Adrian Palicki, Penny Johnson, Gerald, Scott Grimes, Peter Macon, Halston Sage, Jay Lee, Mark Jackson, Cadell Coleman, Norm MacDonald. Duration: 1 hour. Network: Fox. In the news this week was the announcement that the Orville had been picked up for a second season, and watching the show this week, it was easy to understand why. The Star Trek tribute series earned it. From the excellent opening credits to the simple but good stories, it's easy to tell the Orville is a labor of love, and it shows. This week's episode was an excellent example of what I mean by a simple but good story. Co-written and directed by longtime Star Trek writer-producer Brannon Braga, it was a reminder that no matter how far we go into space or the future, some things never change, least of all human nature, and that inside each of us is a child that requires guidance and love. Also, this week's episode featured longtime genre character actor Brian Thompson, who must thank his lucky stars that he was born into a time so chock full of opportunities for him to ply his craft in science fiction and fantasy movies and TV. From The X-Files to The Orville and many times in between, it's always a pleasure to his familiar features on the screen as a part of a production. Warning: spoilers follow in an episode that focuses almost entirely on Dr. Finn and Isaac. Into the Fold begins with the revelation that Dr. Claire Finn has children, 2 sons that would be considered a handful under any circumstances. As Isaac would put it later, they are erratic, undisciplined, volatile and unpredictable. In other words, these continually bickering kids are out of control and spoiled rotten. It's the doctor's mission as a single mom to get them out into an environment where they can engage in some actual play outside, an idea her preteen video game addicted son is firmly against. Just before they leave, Isaac arrives and announces he will be joining them on their trip. It's not long after they depart when things go wrong, when their shuttle encounters an anomaly in the form of a gravity shear that grips their conveyance, inescapably pulling them thousands of light years off course and forces a crash landing on an alien moon. The constant kids fighting contributes to this situation, making things worse when a thrown object hits the shuttle's controls. The landing results in the doctor getting separated from everyone else, leaving Isaac alone to deal with the kids. We learn the moon they land on has a population of possibly cannibalistic mutant scavengers who are poster kids for characters of the sort we have seen in science fiction lots of times before, with physical abnormalities and raggedy clothing. The situation of Isaac with the kids goes remarkably well when the seriousness of the situation begins to sink in on the youngsters, and Isaac adapts quickly considering he has little experience with human idiosyncrasies and behavior. He stays focused on what he must do to ensure they get rescued and survive the unfortunate turn of events. Before the trio sets out on a cross-country trek, we learn the planet has an intentionally contaminated water supply with a bioweapon from an earlier war that causes the same illness affecting the scavengers. Along the way, the younger of the doctor's kids gets exposed and falls ill when he falls crossing a stream. Meanwhile, the doctor gets captured by a man who seems to mean her no